What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to take you on a quick tour of our 5-acre homestead, discuss the goals that we set for the property, go over some of the things that we've done so far, and basically catch you up to current times. So let's get into it. In October of 2020, my wife and I were lucky enough to stumble upon this 5-acre homestead with a 3,500 square foot home, a large detached garage, and a 30-foot by 40-foot pole barn, and several other outbuildings for storage. The property sits within a quaint little community of mostly farmers, ranchers, and other blue-collar folks located in northern Oregon. As you can see from this aerial view, a general idea what the property lines are, and one of the first things we noticed right off the bat that attracted us to the property was the fact that the back of the property borders several hundred acres of private timberland, making it very unlikely for future development to ever occur.
The other aspect that drew our attention right away was, in spite of having neighbors on 3 of the 4 sides, because of how the land is shaped and having several large trees with overgrowth along most of the perimeter, the property has a very secluded, almost isolated atmosphere, making it really feel as if it's our own private oasis.
Which basically means if I want to go several days or even weeks without seeing a single neighbor, that can happen.
Not that we don't like our neighbors, we have great neighbors here.
I personally am just very much so an introvert and enjoy the seclusion when I want it. This is the view of the property from our upstairs balcony. As you can see, we have a good visual of the front of the property where we're currently working at the moment. And as we walk around to the back of the balcony, you can see a large portion of the backyard where we can watch the kids play in the sand pit or oversee one of the many fruit trees that have already been planted. Over the last year and a half, I managed to carve trails all along the perimeter of the property to help navigate some of the slopey terrain and to give the family a place to ride our ATVs. Toward the back, we have a small but very lively water creek that runs through the property, which provides water for the deer, fun for the kids, and a perfect place to put a hammock for mom and dad once we're able to clear all the overgrowth and debris.
Now let's talk about goals and where we're at with meeting those goals. Our first big goal was to remodel the 3,500 square foot home, which it needed a lot of work, but I'm really happy to be able to say we are completely done with that, and we should be able to upload a video on that entire process here soon.
Now that the remodel is complete, some of the larger projects we have include a 1,500 square foot home addition, this 900 square foot garage addition, and we'll be converting this pole barn into a 3,000 square foot training facility. We're also planning on eventually having our driveway paved, installing a perimeter fence and security gate along the front of the property, and maybe even involving solar lights in the future. Those are all bigger, more expensive things that we're striving toward in the future, but will inevitably take some time to accumulate the necessary funds and resources to accomplish. Some of the smaller, more obtainable goals we're working toward include clearing the property of any and all trash and debris, which meant several dump runs, especially in the first few months of living here. Once all the trash was discarded, the second goal was to clear the property of anything dead, unhealthy, or dangerous to us or the kids, which basically includes clearing the property in sections of dead trees, limbs, or unpleasant shrubs.
Now I'll admit, when we first moved here, we didn't know anything about plants or what we had growing here, or if any of it was useful or invasive, or what we would want to take down or replace. But with some basic research, we actually found that we have quite a few different medicinal plants on the property. So eventually we'd like to learn how to extract those medicinal benefits and make things like tinctures or anything else that could be useful or beneficial to us. But for now, our focus is on
demolition, and essentially eliminating all things we deem unnecessary to create space for things we do want. To help us with this task, we bought a Coyote tractor, a few useful implements like a brush hog and wood chipper, and of course some landscaping equipment like chainsaws, mowers, trimmers, and cutters. I'd like to go into more detail about the specific of those things in another video, but for now we're just going to focus on catching you up to where we're at currently, and as of March 2022, our main emphasis has been completing the clearing phase near the front of the property. As you can see, we've already taken down several trees and had to clear quite a bit of dead limbs and brush to get where we're at, and still have quite a ways to go. Once things are cleared up, we'll then begin filling in the empty spaces by planting large evergreen trees along the outer edge of the property to provide the level of privacy we want.
We also plan to plant more fruit trees and berry bushes all along the trails of the property. So that way when we go on our daily walks, we get to enjoy them.
Some of the more immediate projects we have include building a firewood storage unit, building a chicken coop and acquiring chickens, and of course designing and creating our vegetable and herb garden. We've never done any of those things before, so it should make for an interesting ride. Initially, when I saw our backyard, my first thoughts were to design an ATV track for the kids. But after analyzing the amount of slope we were dealing with, we decided against that idea for safety reasons, and instead we're going with a more conventional plan using the available land to grow our garden and plant as many fruit trees as we can until eventually we become self-sufficient. This is going to require us to put the right systems in place for everything to run with efficiency, and all of that starts with these preparations we are currently making right now.
So remember to subscribe, hit the like button,
And come follow along with us through our videos as we transform our land and home one day
one goal at a time, into the homestead of our dreams.